Our last checkmate is called Smothered Mate. In Smothered Mate, the side who is going to be checkmated has his king smothered by his own pieces. In this case, Black's king is surrounded by all of his own pieces, right? And he has nowhere to move. Therefore, White can easily swoop in with knight to f7, taking advantage of the fact that Black's king can't move, so that any check will be checkmate. We also use the fact that the knight here can jump over all these pieces to access Black's king. This is a key trick and is very useful in a couple of different ideas. Let's take a look at an example to see how this might work. Now in this position, it seems that White is doing a lot better than Black. White is first of all up in exchange, so he has a rook for a knight, and also his pieces seem more active. His rook is on an open file, and his queen is currently pinning his Black's rook, while Black's own rook is actually pinned, so it can't really move. And Black's queen and knight look like they're in okay positions, but still, Black's king is very unsafe. However, it turns out that in this position, White's king is actually the one with the problem. So Black to move. If you would like some time to figure it out, you can pause the video. However, in this position, the correct move for Black to play is Queen G1. Now at first sight, this seems very shocking. Queen to G1, well, this isn't checkmate. White can certainly take it. But then after he takes, we can see why he played it. Now, these two pieces are technically smothering White's own king, and this rook controls the G2 square. So since White's king is not completely smothered, this one is called a semi-smothered mate, but still we use the same idea. We play knight to f2, using the fact that the knight can jump over all these pieces and directly access White's king. Since White's king is stuck in the corner with nowhere to go, White gets checkmated even though he's up a queen and an exchange. Now, this example over here is another very typical example. In this position, Black's king looks like it's nowhere close to being smothered. However, the key pattern we need to recognize here is that the queen is in alignment with Black's king. In this case, we already have the knight in position. There's a simple trick that we can use here that will cause Black to become checkmated. Even though the queen is being attacked, we can still use this to discover check. Instead of playing knight to d6, trying to win the queen or something like that, the correct move here is to play knight to h6 check. Now, knight to h6 check is a double check, right? The queen and the knight are both checking the king, which means that the king must move, right? Black can't capture the queen because the knight would capture Black's king, and Black can't capture our knight because our queen would capture his king. Therefore, he needs to choose between playing king to f8 or king to h8. Let's look at king to f8 first. After king to f8, well, the checkmate's very apparent. It's just queen to f7, that's checkmate. So there's not much to that. Seeing this, Black should probably play the move king to h8. Now here the checkmate's a little bit more complicated. So the king is already in the corner, right? That's step 1 of smothered mate. Bring the king to the corner. Step 2, though, is to make sure it's smothered. As it stands right now, the king can still move to g8 if we play knight to f7. So only if we could get some piece onto g8 to stop the king from moving there. Well, turns out we can. Let's play the move queen to g8 check. Well, this looks like it gives up a queen for free at first sight. However, we notice what it really does. The king can't capture because the knight is guarding the queen, so he can't give up his king for the queen, which means that his rook is forced to capture. Rook takes g8. However, after rook takes g8, our plan is complete. The king is smothered with the rook and the 2 pawns, which means that White can now play knight to f7 and give smothered mate. Now, smothered mate is a pretty useful trick, and it happens a lot in games, so it's very good to know. Even though it many times requires a sacrifice, I think checkmate's well worth it.